What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and again, this is Supergirl, or as I like to call it, Soap Opera Girl, Season 2, Episode 10, We Can All Be Heroes. And oh my god, it's the first season all over again, in one little episode. I mean, everything I hated about the first season. You got character decisions that don't make any sense. You've got characters going back on decisions they made previously for some reason. You got relationships being everything. I mean, just the entire episode is just backdrop. Everything going on with Livewire, all of that is just backdrop for the relationship stuff. What's going on there? Who's going to end up together? Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. And then on top of that, you've got just the worst, the worst characters in all the CW shows. And that's saying something, because Arrow has some idiots on their show. But you've got a superhero who, whenever somebody saves her life, she gets mad at them. It happened the first season. There was a moment where she was staring death in the face. Something had knocked her on her ass, and they were about to kill her. They were like, "I'm about to kill you." Superman comes in, saves her life, and she gets pissed about it. She's like, "I can't believe he did that. How am I supposed to be on my own? You were gonna die, and you're mad about that. Are you thinking straight?" Same thing for this one. She's fighting these two super soldiers that were made off of Livewire's electricity. They are kicking her ass. Like, she is being beaten. She is not gonna win this fight. She might die. Mon-El, who's already pushed the cops off to the side, so they should be okay, decides, okay, I'm gonna come in and help. And the cops are just kind of hiding. They're not really even doing anything. Like, you'd think they'd go and move out of the way after he said move out of the way. And then here comes Jimmy riding in on his motorcycle, so he's protecting them as they run across. And because Mon-El just happens to knock one lightning bolt away and it goes straight towards Jimmy and knocks him into a cop into a van, that's enough for Super to go be like, "You're supposed to protect the people." And the thing is, none of this even really matters, because you know it's all just setting up for the fact that, why'd you protect me? Oh, because he likes her. Because he remembers kissing her, and that's all this was about. Who cares about Livewire? Who cares about this crazy scientist that was using her electricity to create super soldiers? Who cares about any of this? This is all about, are Kara and Mon-El going to end up together? Are they going to end up together? They're working together now. He's wanting to be a superhero. Is that enough for her to like him? Do you guys think it is? Is that what this is going? Is that what this is all going to? I mean, I just want to be sure, because who really cares about Livewire? Who really cares about the superhero? No, I want to know, is Kara gonna end up with Mon-El? And same thing with freaking Martian Manhunter and his girl. She's going through some sort of mental thing where, like, I guess the White Martians have tapped into her mind. And so now they're on their way to Earth. But who really cares, right? This is all about, are Hank and Morgan? I forget how to say her name. Are they going to end up together? Because that's clearly what this whole episode was about. I mean, look at the end. Look at how it all ended. She's like, "I'm going back to my cell, right?" She's like, and he's just like, no, you're not. You're free to go. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, they're ending up together. Who gives a crap? I don't care about relationships. I don't care about any of this. I just want to see superheroing stuff. And all of it is just pushed to the side so we can see more of, oh, they're going to date each other. Congratulations. So that's the relationship stuff. That's all the stuff with Supergirl and how stupid she is. Let's talk about character decisions. Because once again, at the beginning of this episode, we see Jimmy gets into the van. He's got a bullet hole in his shoulder. And once again, Wynn is like, "I'm done, Jimmy. I'm done. I can't do this anymore." I'm like, what, for the 5th time now? You're done again? And he's just like, "You gotta tell Kara. You gotta tell Kara." He's like, "Fine, I'll tell her." And so he calls her up to his office. They start to talk. Wouldn't you know it, Livewire's attacking the not GCPD, NCPD, National City, right? Yeah, she's attacking the police department. So they go in, and of course at that moment, that's whenever Jimmy gets knocked unconscious. She takes off the helmet, sees he's there, and just, that's how they find out, because, of course, what a coincidence. He wasn't able to tell her. She has to find out. Now she's mad. She's mad at all of them for not telling her a thing. And here's the thing. I actually am with Supergirl on this. I think Jimmy should be fine doing what he does. You know, helping out from up there in his office, watching the news, making sure the news isn't saying things that could harm Supergirl's reputation or harm whatever she's doing. Trying to kind of like when it comes to serial killers, how you're not supposed to name him, that type of thing. He can try to control it from up there, make sure the news isn't spreading false reports. Instead, he wants to go out and be a vigilante because, ooh, I used to fight when I was younger. I've got a black belt. That's enough to stop super or metahumans, right? Yeah, sure, idiot. And on top of that, Wynn is already doing a bunch of stuff at the DEO, trying to help them there. And for some reason, even he's like, that's just not enough. I need to be out there in the field in my van. Because that's the same thing. That's not the same thing as sitting behind a desk at the DEO. Yeah, idiot. I swear, by the end of this show, I always have, not always, it's had some good episodes, but this one especially, I'm pretty sure you can't really see it, but I probably got a palm print on my forehead from how many times I smacked myself in the head after something stupid happened. So yeah, they're acting like idiots, and then we have this moment where Kara sees Jimmy, he's pulled off the helmet, and so she and him are having a conversation about it, and he's just like, look, I need to do this. It's the first time I felt like me. I'm not supposed to be in your shadow or Superman's shadow. I'm just like, you're not? You're not the reporter who's supposed to be there for Superman and help him out as a friend and not really fight, but just sort of be there as a photographer and kind of help his reputation. No, you're supposed to be the fighter. Right, I forgot. This is so like the Jimmy from everything I've seen with Superman. So he's sitting there saying all of this stuff, and she's just like, look, if you're not going to stop this, I'll stop you. He's like, I'd like to see you try. And I started laughing at that point. Like, really? Jimmy thinks he could take on Supergirl. Really? The guy who can hardly take on minor criminals on the streets, who ends up with a bullet hole in his shoulder because of these minor criminals, he's gonna, yeah. Oh, I'd like to see Supergirl stop that guy. That guy is definitely, he's gonna be able to do it. And of course, Supergirl's not actually gonna try to stop him. But we do get to the end of the episode, and she finally has a little bit of sense and says, look, I'm not going to stop you, but I can't support this. What you're doing is reckless and it's endangering your lives. I'm like, thank you. The first sensible thing she said in this entire episode. And of course, they're just like, oh, well, I guess that's it then. And you know where this is all headed, too. Like, that's the thing. If it were headed in a direction that I liked, I'd be okay with this. I'd be like, okay, yeah, so Jimmy's being an idiot, that's fine. But the show treats it like he's doing the smart thing. Like, he's doing the right thing here, and Supergirl's just being too harsh on him. Like, that's the music, all that, just everything, the way it's shot, it's all shot in such a way that I'm just like, yeah, they're trying to make me think that Jimmy is right here, and I don't. I think he's completely wrong. I think Supergirl's right. I think she's right to be harsh on him. But no, but I'm pretty sure probably a few episodes down the line, there's going to be a moment where Jimmy comes in, saves her from certain death, and she's going to be like, you know what, I was wrong about this. You are doing a good job. And I'm going to smack my forehead again. Because it's just so stupid. It doesn't make any logical sense. And that's the biggest problem with the show, is it doesn't make any logical sense. So, that's the stuff with the character decisions. Little other things to talk about that are just really frustrating. One, like I said, the relationship stuff is becoming center stage. And it's even gotten to the point now where the thing with Supergirl and Livewire, her deciding to let her go, it's all kind of thrown in at the very end, like, oh, maybe there's some good in her. And then all on top of that, they just sort of throw in a joke talking about Alex and Maggie, and just like, oh, well, looks like you're eating ice cream at my place. It's just like, really? All of this was just set up for that joke? Like, that's what it feels like. Obviously, they're trying to make some sort of, oh, morality, and oh, yeah, she didn't kill him, and Supergirl and her are kind of nemesis, but they're also sort of frenemies, and I'm just like, seriously, this is so stupid. It could just be Supergirl just punches Livewire out of the way and knocks her out so they can take them both to jail. But no, they have to do this whole thing where it's like, oh, Alex and Maggie bet on it, and now they're going to have a date at Maggie's place instead. And it feels like it's all just setting up for that one joke, and that's all it is. And on top of that, you have some of the worst editing mistakes, I think, this entire season. When Jimmy and Mon-El go to stop the scientists from operating on Livewire. First of all, the fact that Wynn manages to do that, gets away with it, and then even has Hank say, Obviously you're fired next time you do that. But hey, you and Jimmy are making a good team. I'm like, yeah, of course, compliment him after he lied to you about information. That's what a good DEO leader does. So anyway, Jimmy and Mon-El show up trying to stop them because they both want to prove to Kara that they can do what they do and not need her help. And of course they both get captured because they're idiots. But the funny thing is, they knock down the two super soldiers just to turn around and see that the main scientist guy actually experimented on himself and has his own powers. And so he traps them. Supergirl comes in, lasers their shackles off, and knocks the guy out of the way, and then goes to work on Livewire. They turn around to go fight the super soldiers, and they're just picking themselves off the ground. I'm like, wait, are you telling me that the scientist guy trapped them, put them in shackles, sat them down, and Supergirl flew over and then saved them all in like 3 seconds? Because I'm pretty sure if super soldiers get knocked to the ground, they don't sit there and go, I'm gonna get up eventually! Ah! It's so stupid. It's obviously been like 15 minutes about, and they're just now picking themselves off the ground. Like, if they are that easy to knock down and if it's that hard for them to get back up, why is it so difficult to beat them? So, yeah, that was obviously just an editing mistake. They're just like, oh, let's just throw that in there, them getting back up. And then on top of that, we see Supergirl gets Livewire out of her thing, and then she's about to, like, shock Supergirl, and she's just like, wait, you can punish him for what he's done to you. And then she's like, ah, and then decides to shoot it at the girl who kind of looks like her, knocks her against the wall. Next thing you know, Supergirl goes over there, and the girl's, like, right in the middle of the fight, like nothing just happened. It's so funny because it's so obviously just an editing mistake, and they're just like, oh, we need a cool slow-mo shot, so let's just keep it. But she just got knocked across the room. She wouldn't be right back there. No, let's just keep it. Nobody's really going to notice. It's Supergirl. Who's actually going to watch and pay attention, right? If they're actually watching and enjoying the show, they probably shut off their brains, or they have none. So, yeah, let's just keep it in there. Who really cares, right? I feel kind of bad, really. Like, not because this show deserves my pity or anything like that, but just I feel bad that the CW had to go and pick up this show, and they must have kept the same writers. They must have. Because it just feels like the show has not gotten any better. Yeah, there were moments. There were few moments where I'm just like, you know what? This show's actually pretty good. There have been a few moments. I mean, the Superman episodes were pretty good. Last episode, while still having some issues, was still pretty good. It was still enjoyable. There were fewer moments where I'm just like, this is stupid, this is dumb. I don't know what's going on because this episode tells me nothing's gotten better. It's all still about the relationships. It's all still characters decide one thing, then they go back on their decisions. It's all still character making dumb decisions. It's all still Supergirl being mad whenever she has her lives saved. I don't understand why this show continues to make the same mistakes and why nobody's calling them out about it. Because who actually watches a superhero show wanting to see all about the relationships? I mean, The Flash is probably the only one of all these CW shows where I actually care about the relationships, and that's just because Barry and Iris have such a good chemistry. I care about them. I want to see them get together. Oliver and Felicity, I never once cared about them. Oliver and Laurel, they were such an off and on thing, it was almost painful to watch. The Legends of Tomorrow, it feels like they're not even really trying with those relationships because they just know this is kind of a suicide mission. What they do, they're not really going to have a lot of time to form relationships. And so they've formed a couple, Ray and Kendra in the first season was kind of just thrown in there like, you know what, this may be a suicide mission anyway, so why not just hook up? But that's the thing, they knew that. They treated it like that. This show, it treats it like this is the most important thing. All of these relationships, everything going on between these characters, whether or not they're going to get together, that's what's most important. That's what gets center focus. It's not about Supergirl being Supergirl. It's not about Kara trying to balance her superhero life with her reporter life. I mean, that's what Superman did so well, is that while Lois Lane was there as a romantic interest, it was always treated as just a romantic interest. It was never like, okay, let's have half of a season devoted to Superman and Lois Lane getting together. Like, that was never the thing. This show, I mean, first of all, the first season was all about Kara and Jimmy getting together. This season's Jimmy has been Mon-El. I mean, even at the end of this episode, they don't actually get together. He just admits he has feelings, so Kara can turn him down, so we can get even more of them trying to get together. Maggie and Alex got an entire half a season devoted to them. Like, most of the first half of the season, half of those episodes were Alex and Maggie and their relationship and are they going to get together. Alex isn't even the main character, and she got a lot of story devoted to her and her relationship with Maggie. So I don't understand why the show continues to do this and think that people actually like it. Obviously, some people will enjoy it. There are always, even in the other shows that are a little bit better than this, there's still people there trying to ship characters, and there are people who tune in to find out about this stuff. But that's not what most people expect. When they hear Supergirl, they don't expect to tune in to find relationships, to find, oh, this character doesn't like what that character's doing, and so now they're mad at each other. They just want to tune in to see Supergirl being Supergirl. They want to tune in to see fun fights and action and adventure and stuff like that. And as long as this show continues to put out the same crap, I'm continuing to not like it. I'm continuing to bash it. So hopefully they learn. Hopefully they can start to make adjustments to where, I don't know, maybe Jimmy will die be trying to do this, and so all of a sudden it makes sense, that he's doing this and putting himself in danger. And if they want to bring him back, it's DC. Everybody comes back to life at some point. So I don't know. I feel like this is the most I've ranted about the show since the first season. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What did you like and dislike about this episode? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Supergirl reviews, and I'll see you at the next one if you want to watch it. Peace out.